So from a time where one browser controlled 95% of the entire internet to today where browsers are fighting over privacy, speed, and control, the browser world has completely changed. And honestly, most people are still using whatever came pre-installed without even knowing what they're giving up. So in this video, I'm breaking down every major web browser, why it exists, and which one actually makes sense in 2026. So let's get into it. What's up guys, Ali here. Alright, starting with the one that dominated everything, Internet Explorer. Back in the early 2000s, Internet Explorer wasn't just popular, it was basically the internet itself. It came pre-installed with Windows, and since Windows dominated PCs, IE ended up with around 95% market share. But here's where things went wrong. Microsoft got comfortable, updates slowed down, security became terrible, and web standards weren't followed properly. Meanwhile, the internet was evolving, and IE just didn't keep up. And that opened the door for competition. Now enter Mozilla Firefox. Firefox showed up as the fast, lightweight, and more secure alternative. It respected web standards, supported extensions, and gave users more control. For a while, Firefox was the browser for people who actually cared about performance and customization. And even today, with less than 3% market share, it still matters. Why? Because it's one of the last independent browsers not controlled by big tech engines like Google's Chromium. It's basically keeping the web from becoming a monopoly. Now moving on to the browser that changed everything, Google Chrome. Chrome didn't just compete, it reset the entire industry. It launched with a super clean design, insane speed at the time, and something called a multi-process architecture, meaning each tab runs separately. So if one tab crashes, your whole browser doesn't die. And people loved that. Chrome quickly took over, and today is the most used browser in the world. But here's the trade-off. Chrome is built by Google, which means data, a lot of data. Your browsing habits, searches, behavior, all feeding into Google's ecosystem. So yes, it's fast and reliable, but it comes at a cost, your privacy. Now here's where it gets interesting, Microsoft Edge. After Internet Explorer failed, Microsoft tried again with Edge, and it didn't really work at first. So they did something unexpected. They rebuilt Edge completely using Chromium, the same engine as Chrome. Which means today, Edge is basically Chrome under the hood, but optimized differently. You get better battery life on Windows, deeper integration with Microsoft services, and slightly better privacy controls compared to Chrome. So yeah, Edge went from being ignored to actually being a solid option. Now let's talk about something most people don't even realize. Apple Safari. If you're using an iPhone, you might think you're using Chrome or Firefox, but technically you're not. Apple has a strict rule on iOS. All browsers must use Apple's WebKit engine. So even if you download Chrome from the App Store, it's still running on Safari's engine behind the scenes. That means Apple controls performance, features, and limitations across all browsers on iPhone. Safari itself is optimized for battery efficiency and privacy, but it's not as flexible as others when it comes to extensions or customization. Now let's move into the privacy-focused browsers. And this is where things really split. First up, Brave. Brave is built on Chromium, so it feels like Chrome, but with built-in ad blocking, tracker blocking, and privacy protection right out of the box. No extensions needed. It even has its own ad system where you can earn rewards, which is interesting but not for everyone. Then there's Tor browser. This one is on a completely different level. Tor routes your traffic through multiple layers of encryption across different servers worldwide, making it extremely hard to track you. But the trade-off, it's slower, much slower. So it's not for daily browsing, but for maximum anonymity, it's unmatched. Another one worth mentioning is Vivaldi. This is for power users. Insane customization, built-in tools, advanced tab management. It's like a browser designed for people who want full control over everything. Not the simplest, but extremely powerful. And then you've got browsers like Opera. Opera still exists, and it actually has some interesting features like built-in VPN, ad blocker, and even AI tools recently. But it's not as widely trusted when it comes to privacy compared to something like Firefox or Brave. Now here's the bigger picture. Most modern browsers today, Chrome, Edge, Brave, Opera, are all built on Chromium, which is controlled by Google. So even if it feels like you have choices, a lot of them are running on the same foundation. And that's why browsers like Firefox are still important, because they keep competition alive. Alright, so quick breakdown. Internet Explorer dominated, then collapsed. Firefox, independent, privacy-focused, still relevant. Chrome, fastest growth, biggest market share, data trade-off. Edge, rebuilt using Chromium, actually good now. Safari, Apple-controlled ecosystem, especially on iPhone. Brave/Tor, privacy-first options. Vivaldi/Opera, feature-rich alternatives. And honestly, the best browser depends on what you care about. Speed, Chrome or Edge. Privacy, Brave or Firefox. Apple ecosystem, Safari. Full control, Vivaldi. But the real question is, are you choosing your browser or just using whatever was already there? Anyway, that's it for this one. If you want more simple breakdowns like this, drop a like and I'll see you in the next one.